I'm out here at Tsugawa's up in Woodland, Washington. I'm with Brian here. And Brian, today we're going to be talking about planting big trees, because a lot of times now we've concentrated on smaller trees because of smaller locations, but there are still places for really large trees. And then we're going to talk about some of the great plants to put in the shade
kind
of
of
those
understory.
trees.
Yeah,
so first of all, let's start with this new maple.
Yeah, this is right here is actually, it's a new type of sugar maple.
Nice.
And what's nice about most of these trees that we're going to be recommending is kind of moderate to fast growing.
Yeah.
35, 45, and probably bigger on this one, as you were saying, but always, that's within like a 10, 15 year lifespan. So, but sugar maples, orange to the reds, just a nice blend of that. Like if you ever gone back east, the nice fall coloration.
They have beautiful fall color anyway,
do.
but this one is supposed to have some real color that pops.
That's exactly right. It's noted, it's a new patent one, Fall Fiesta.
Nice.
And it is very nice. And last year, we had a really nice fall for fall coloration, so I think it still has a lot of, getting a lot of requests already for next year's fall coloration. So we kind of just wanted to do a little bit about that, so you get the shade along with some fall colorations.
And what about this one here?
This red maples, basically all the red maples, another good tree, 35, 45 and taller. We're talking about 10, 15 years, but that's one, it's a Sun Valley is the name of that one, patented one again, but it's just a newer one. What's nice about it though, it's supposed to be noted for just like this fluorescent orange to red fall coloration. Yeah.
And they really knock your socks off. Now I gotta say,
that's exactly right.
This next maple, Ryan, this is one of my personal favorites. I love this one. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it's we've had it for I think this is our third season of having it, so we're kind of really new with it actually. So it's a variety of sycamore maple. As you're saying, yours and yours is going to get a little larger in the leaf size, so you don't usually pot it up or dug out of the ground. Those are balled and burlap, but they're going to get a little larger leaf. But for a sycamore maple, that just as you're noting that, when up against the sun, you can kind of see the translucence of that. Just kind of see right through it.
Yeah, you see a pink and an orange, green and cream color. They're just a lovely plant. So now that we've picked out some great trees that give us good shade, let's jump over here and just start right over here with these great conifers.
Well, what we'd be talking about is like morning sun. Obviously, we would not be able to do full shade, but dwarf conifers for a little bit of morning sun or just avoid that 2 o'clock. We have 2 cypresses right here, and obviously you can see the variegation on them.
Yeah.
And most variegated conifers, and like when it gets 85 or hotter, these little white pigments always get burnt on them, or if it's a yellow conifer or whatever. So perfect area for morning sun. So I brought out a couple little dwarf conifers.
Yeah, because then in the afternoon, and the reason I think, if you might disagree with me, but tell me if I'm wrong here, it's because the chlorophyll is less where the white is, so they burn easier.
That's exactly
right. So
right.
it would seem very logical that these kind of conifers in the late afternoon get the shade, and that's perfect for them.
That would be perfect. And nothing worse than seeing the burnt foliage.
Oh no, it looks awful.
Yeah, it does.
I've always thought this was really just a full sun conifer, but it actually can take some afternoon.
Well, we have a lot of, in our area over here, woodland obviously, a lot of wooded areas. People have for the larger lot sizes, they look for conifers, dwarf conifers that can grow as understory, underneath areas or morning sun areas, and not a whole heck of a lot of them. So this is also known as Staghorn,
beautiful one.
Cedar or Cypress, either way. But you can see the different, why they call it the Staghorn. Obviously,
it looks like a Staghorn.
Good idea. Yeah.
Now tell me about this beauty.
There's a lot of dwarf hemlocks, but this one's a nice one because it's just a shrub form. I'd say 3 foot, 4 foot. Is pretty much what it wants to do, and it's a weeping or not a weeping hemlock. It's just a dwarf hemlock.
Yeah.
So Canadian,
it's
dwarf
lovely.
Canadian hemlock. That's Bennett, and you can see the pendulous branches, but it's not like a true weeping hemlock that gets a leader but it pretty much wants to be a bush as with pendulous branches there. So
well, and I love the idea that we're getting more and more great conifers to put into our shade type gardens. And we didn't even cover things like the beautiful Hakanakloa grass and all the other things you can put in a shade garden. But to find all that out, you can certainly come up here to Woodland, Washington, stop by to Tsugawa, see Brian and his great staff, and pick out some plants that make your shade garden just pop. Thank you so much, Brian.
Thanks.